Hello, good afternoon. Just waiting on a few people to get on before I get started. But today we're gonna do the crown labels for the cups. Hello, good afternoon. We are getting ready to do the labels for the crown cups that we've been making. I'm gonna go ahead and get started. So as far as the labels go, I get the labels right from Google Chrome or Google, just a search. What I do first, I already have the labels, but I'm gonna go ahead and show you all how I found them. Up here, I'm just gonna type peach crown royal label. I did select this first one over here, and then another one pops up inside of this black box with it, and this is the one that I actually want. So I'm going to grab that one, save the image. And now I have it saved. It's actually in my downloads folder. It should be in my downloads folder. Let me make sure. Yeah. Okay, so the next thing I do is I go to remove background, remove BG. And I upload that image into this site, which is going to remove the background for me, just like so. And I click download so that I can have that. And now that comes in as a PNG. The next thing you'll want to do is, if you were looking for like the other one that I had, the apple, I just type in apple crown label, I guess. Yep. And this one pops up. This is the one I use for that one. I use this one simply because it had the space for me to put the name for customizing. And this one I didn't load into remove BG. I'm going to show you how you can also remove the background using Design Space. So those two images are the images that I use on the cups. I'm going to go ahead and upload them here. This is the first one that we took the background out of. And then I never did save that, so let me go and save that one. And we're going to pull that one in. So with this one, what we're going to do is just, you tap the little eraser tool, and then just click the background, and it'll remove the background for you. So that's another way to remove the background from your pictures as well. So these are the two that we'll be using. I'll go ahead and load those in. Put this over here so you can see. So these are the two images. The only thing I do is pretty much size them. This one, my go-to size for a tumbler is 3 inches wide. And then I just go from there. I am going to do this one a little bit smaller. Which that was only because the cup has a bend in it. If you can tell, there's a bend right here. These are the modern curve cups, so there's a slight curve in the cup. So that's the reason why I'm going to make it just a tad bit smaller, so it'll be easier to place on the cup. And I'm just sizing these down to 2.3 inches wide. And whatever it turns out for the height, I'll leave it there. And then as far as like putting a name on the actual image, I'm going to go ahead and type in pt3. And then I'm just going to go ahead and I just grab a text box, type up a name. We'll use John. I size it in here the way that I want it. I might change the font, do some different things to it. But once I get it into the actual box and place it where I want, if it's not exactly, I can't always eye it, so I just highlight both of them and align center horizontally. That way it's in the middle, which it didn't move much, so it must have been right. And highlight it again. I'm going to attach it. And then I'm going to flatten it. If you do not flatten it, it's going to try, when you go to cut this image, it's going to try and cut this here, the crown apple label, as well as the JOH inside of it. So you want to make sure you flatten it, making it all one piece. Another thing that I like to do sometimes, especially with the girly cup, which is the peach one, I'll add in a peach. Go back, because I have one here. But same thing, you could just go through and find a peach image. I'll do that for you. So I just type in peach PNG images and just find one that I like. I actually believe I used peach clip art as a search for this. Yeah, I believe so. So, and then when I found one that I liked, we're just gonna use this one here. I take it, I save the image to my computer, and I upload it same way we did the Apple label. So we're just gonna pull it in and then remove the background. And save that. And then another image that I put on, as you can see, were the peach slices. So same thing, do a search for peach slices. I believe this is the exact one that I use. Save the image, and then pull it in the same way. Remove the background from it, and then save. So those two we can pull in. This looks to be about the size, but I just size it down. I don't have any exact measurements that I use. I just size it down to the size that I like, according to the cup, whether it's a 20 ounce or 30 ounce. And then I hit duplicate a couple of times, so I have a couple of them to spread around the cup. And then this one, I sized it down and put it in the corner of the cup, selected it all, attached, and flattened it again. Flatten this one. Once I do that, I am going to go ahead and make it, because it's pretty much done. I'm gonna click make, and I am going to print this out on water slide paper. The paper that I use is this here. This inkjet water slide decal paper. At the bottom you can see that it's the clear, well, I'm actually going to use white, but this is the exact, I have the paper for it though, so let me show you. This is the one that we'll be using. This is the white. I don't remember the price. I think it's like $14.99 for 10 sheets. But it's water slide paper. I can post the link if you can't find it. But this is what I'll be using to print the images on. I'm gonna go ahead and do a print. I don't move anything around. You can move stuff around, but I like to keep it as is because I close out of this once I'm done printing it, so that I can work on another project while I am spraying and sealing my images on the water slide. You do have to seal images on an inkjet printer water slide. If you have a laser printer, you do not have to seal them. You can go right ahead with the next step. But I have an inkjet printer, so I would have to seal it. So what I'm going to do is hit continue, center printer, as you would normally do any other print and cut. We are pretty much done with this video, with this live. The only thing I have to do is spray it. What I use is the same Rust-Oleum clear spray paint that I use to seal the cups to keep the glitters from touching each other or sinking into each other. It's the exact same one that is listed in the first video that we did. I'm going to spray it, give it a light coat, and one light coat. I do, since it is white water slide paper, I do leave the bleed on so that when it cuts it, if it goes outside of the lines, I'll have it as a backup and don't have to actually reprint the whole image. But I'm going to seal it with the clear spray paint, spray it with the light coat, wait about 10 minutes, spray it again with the light coat, maybe wait another 10 minutes and spray it again, and then wait a full like 30 minutes before I go ahead and cut this. Once I cut it, I'll come back on and show you how I place the water slides onto the cup, and that will probably be later on this evening. Did anyone have any questions? I'm gonna stay on for a few minutes to answer any. That's right. Once again, this is the paper that I use, inkjet water slide decal paper. This is the white. I do use clear for more than half of the projects I do, but for this particular project, I do use the white water slide. These are our images. I know I'm delayed, so I'm waiting to see if anybody have any questions or comments. Okay, my daughter crying, so I'll have to get off. If y'all have any questions, go ahead and post them in the comments, and I'll answer them once I get back.